The countdown has begun. The lights get brighter, the noise grows louder, and this is the moment Jake Paul claims he comes alive. While the world debates, predicts, and jokes, inside his Miami training camp there's nothing funny happening. Everything is serious. Everything is intense. Everything is pointed toward December 19th, the night he steps in against Anthony Joshua. Jake Paul has committed himself to the most demanding camp of his career. His team has brought in heavyweight sparring partners who mimic Joshua's size, reach, and knockout power. Under the supervision of elite coaches, performance specialists, and advanced training technology, every session is engineered to push him to the edge, and then push him past it. Strength. Speed. Reflexes. Footwork. Strategy. Every small flaw is corrected, every hesitation eliminated, every round sharpened. Because for this challenge, good is not enough. Ready isn't enough. Jake needs to become the best version of himself ever seen. His coach says the world only sees the highlights, not the hours of sweat, exhaustion, and sacrifice that happen behind the cameras. The public sees the show. The camp sees the truth. Jake's days are long, his body constantly pushed, his mind constantly tested. But he embraces it. He enjoys the suffering, the grind, the pressure. Because he knows when it's gone, he'll miss it. And throughout this camp, something else has changed. A transformation. His team describes it as Jake turning into a gladiator, shedding the old version of himself and stepping into the identity required to face a former world champion. The confidence, the focus, the sharpened instincts, they say it's all building toward a single night. Mental preparation has become just as important as physical training. Jake visualizes every scenario, Joshua's jab, Joshua's combinations, Joshua pressuring forward. He mentally rehearses counters, angles, and strategies, training his mind to remain calm when the arena explodes with energy. His self-belief is real, not blind, but conditioned, intentional, rehearsed. His sparring partners confirm the intensity. According to them, Jake doesn't just hold his own, he dominates many sessions. Some fighters are sent home. Not because they're weak, but because Jake is pushing himself into deeper waters, demanding tougher tests. For this fight, he wants pressure. He wants size. He wants danger. Tony Jeffries, Olympic medalist and respected trainer, calls Jake's camp Olympic-level preparation. State-of-the-art equipment. Specialized strength programs. Ice baths for physical and mental resilience. A complete support team standing around him, coaches, cameramen, conditioning experts, friends, all pushing him harder than if he were alone. Jeffries says there's nothing in Jake's regimen he can criticize. Everything is high level. Everything is professional. Everything is designed for a fighter who refuses to cut corners. Rafael, a veteran analyst, sees noticeable improvements in Jake since the Tommy Fury fight, better technique, better stamina, better ring IQ. But he also warns that improvements do not erase the danger of facing someone like Anthony Joshua. The challenge is enormous, and it requires flawless execution. Meanwhile, others question whether Jake's confidence is drifting into delusion. They ask, what has he seen in himself that makes him believe he can knock out Joshua? He hasn't knocked out a high-level boxer. He struggled in certain fights. And Joshua, despite setbacks, remains one of the hardest punchers in modern heavyweight boxing. Yet Jake insists he will shock the world. He insists that this is his destiny. He insists that this fight is light work. Some, like Tyson Fury, even publicly back him, calling it free money. Betting odds have moved slightly, raising eyebrows and fueling conversation. But the reality remains clear, this is Jake's biggest challenge ever. USA vs UK. A former unified champion against a disruptive newcomer. Legacy vs ambition. Jake promises to knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua live on Netflix. He size, power, and history. Jake says he carries the heart, the courage, and the belief. But belief alone will not save him. His willingness to mix it up, to throw combinations, to fight aggressively, this could be the best thing he does, or the worst. Because one mistake against a puncher like Joshua can end a fight instantly. Froch adds more fuel to the fire, claiming Joshua is only taking the fight for money and calling the matchup a massive mismatch. Froch insists Joshua is finished at the elite level and that this bout shouldn't last even 2 rounds. The media debates him, fans argue. But Froch stands by his word. At the end of the day, nobody truly knows what will happen until the first bell rings. The accusations, the predictions, the doubts, none of it matters once the fighters stand across from each other. On December 19th, everything becomes real. No script. No excuses. No distractions. Just Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, and the truth. Judgment Day.